Cells need ATP constantly for all kinds of processes. Recall that even vesicles moving within the cell needs ATP. And of course, all of your muscle contractions that help you move your body daily require lots of ATP. That ATP is made in the organelle inside the cells known as mitochondria. Now, cell respiration is the process that happens in mitochondria where glucose, the simple sugar, and oxygen in the atmosphere are used to make ATP. Now, the results of that process inside mitochondria is the byproducts CO2 and water, in addition to the creation of the ATP. And of course, the CO2 diffuses back out, and that's what we respire out of our bodies. The reaction for cellular respiration can be written like this, where you see all the molecules we were just talking about, like glucose and oxygen, combining to form carbon dioxide, water, and ATP energy. Now, if we reverse the reaction and we end up making glucose, we have the process of photosynthesis, which is carried out by plant cells, where they take CO2 from the atmosphere, combine it with water and the energy from light to make glucose and the byproduct oxygen. As you can see here, the plant cell will take in carbon dioxide from the atmosphere into these specialized organelles known as chloroplasts. Inside the chloroplast, the process of photosynthesis creates the glucose molecule and the oxygen molecule, which can then be used to power ATP production in the mitochondria. So you see, plants will actually make their own glucose, which they then send to their mitochondria for cellular respiration. Cellular respiration is an excellent example of a redox reaction. This is a coupled reduction-oxidation reaction. And what we mean here is that one molecule will typically always get reduced while the other gets oxidized. In this case, glucose is oxidized through the course of the reaction. And to be oxidized means you get electrons taken away from you, and thus you lose some hydrogens as well that will follow. So you can see the carbons in glucose are surrounded by hydrogens, and those carbons are no longer attached to hydrogens in the molecule CO2 on the product side. Therefore, glucose has been oxidized. Oxygen, however, has been reduced. So those oxygen molecules gained electrons, and therefore hydrogen atoms followed and made water molecules. So you can always tell which one gets reduced by the sudden appearance of the hydrogen atoms. That oxidation step is really what releases the energy that the cell will then harvest to build the ATP molecule, which it then uses as currency for all of the energetic processes.